Hi. Oh, I guess it did turn on. Hi. Um, happy new moon and happy solar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is a very, very important time. The heavens are blessing us with personal power. So this is a time where we can really take our personal power and we can use it to plan and to act, and to plan for our actions coming up or to act right now. It's a boost from the heavens. It's a celestial boost. So we are very, very blessed. There are a lot of things that might be unresolved in your life. And so now's the time to dig deep and see what you can do in order to put some of those things to rest so that we can heal ourselves, because our journey here is about self-love, and it's about releasing things that just don't serve us. And so many of us have had lots and lots of things that don't serve us, and yet we couldn't let go. So it's detachment that is so very, very necessary. It's a time of letting go of old beliefs, things that don't serve us, truths that we were taught in childhood, certainly relationships. And that includes all kinds, not just with lovers or whatever, but with people that aren't on the same spiritual road that we are on. Because if someone wants to go drinking all the time or doing this or doing that, or is involved in gossip and doing things that are of a really low vibration, it might not serve us to be among them. Because I'm sure you felt that. I've certainly felt that at a party or something. I'd just kind of get the creepies when I'd walk in, and I realized that these aren't the kind of people. They're very nice people, perhaps. I don't know them, but we're not on the same wavelength. And so I would much rather sit and talk with someone who wants to talk about the universe and why we're here and our soul and how to be better and how to expand our consciousness and all the wonderful things like that, as opposed to what somebody's going to be doing or saying or that kind of stuff. I just have no tolerance for that anymore. And it's a time. Oh, a bird just flew by. I think it was. Oh gosh. Anyway, so it's a time to take our courage and be brave, be strong, and face the scary. And we've all had scary, because fear is an illusion, but that's what keeps us attached to the crazy, to the chaos, when we are to shine in the chaos, because we can keep ourselves centered and balanced. And when other people are having road rage and screaming around and acting crazy, we can just sit back and say, oh, yeah. Or if the narcissist is doing all kinds of crazy things. And you know what I learned? Well, is that narcissism is not a diagnosis. Narcissism is really behaviors. And it's actually a numbers game. And the number is the narcissist tries to turn as many people against you as he can. So it's a numbers game. It's kind of like, it's like a rat pack or something. You just try to get people on your side, and then it's like, that person is a bad person. And that's what a narcissist does. And the narcissist, some of, I think, the most celebrated celebrities and politicians and governmental officials and things like that, and corporate heads, corporate CEOs, they can just smile, and they're just so slick, and they just look so good, and they just really want to help you. But a lot of the time, there's a lot of wounding in order to need that much admiration and that much self-confidence. And there's nothing wrong with self-confidence, but anyway, you know what I mean. So anyway, in terms of for regular people like us, it's about facing the scary. And so whether it's getting in a relationship or getting out of a relationship, they could be equally scary, don't you think? Or whether it's forgiving and building bridges instead of having animosity towards someone else. It just doesn't serve us. I mean, it just only hurts us to do that. And it's about loving ourselves. Yeah. Because we are a divine creation, you know? And there's only one of us. And we're here for a purpose. We're not just here to take up space. We really do have a divinely orchestrated life plan that we are to fulfill that plan while we're here. And it's not about... I had done a video on Thoreau, and Thoreau was wonderful. I loved him. And it's not about waking up and, taking a shower and then going to the kitchen and getting some coffee and then getting dressed and going to work and then coming back exhausted and cooking and then doing laundry and then, watching TV till your eyes close and then doing that. That's no way to live. We are here really for a fabulous life. And so we need to just own that. So anyway, in terms of courage, I just thought, think about what is your fear? What do you need to grab hold of courage in order to accomplish in your life? And I was thinking in terms of my own path, what I needed courage for was to speak up. And for so many years, I've been mute. Seriously. I'm not deaf, but I have been mute. And it's kind of like the elephants. The elephants in captivity, they have the chains around their legs. And when the chains are removed and the zookeeper says, go ahead, walk around, and gives them a nudge, they don't. They refuse. They just stand there because it's almost like apathy. They just have given up. They just don't even remember what it's like, and they just don't care, and they're so tired and miserable for having been chained. And along those lines, except the flip side, is that like mice, when they do something and then there's negative reinforcement, so they get a shock, and then after a while they just don't do it. Because it's like a dog with an electric fence. Eventually the dog is not going to cross that barrier, however invisible it might be, because they've been trained. And it seems like on planet Earth, in this third density, we've all been trained to just kind of put up and just go mute. And I was thinking, for me, that is something I need to work on. And that's something that I'm hoping this eclipse will help fortify me in order to accomplish that. And I was thinking, I can give you a small example, and I won't get into this too much, but I was involved in a 4.5-year divorce. And it made War of the Roses look like child's play. And it was so ridiculous because I just wanted everything divided equally and let's just go on our way. But, our legal system is broken. It really is. And I don't think I'm telling anybody anything that they don't know, because there are so many people on death row that aren't guilty. And there are so many criminals that are guilty that are walking around. So, and then the whole system is that there has to be a winner. Right? And if there's a winner, that means there's a loser. And the more the winner wins, the more the loser loses. And really, in a divorce, the losers happen to be the children. They lose no matter what, no matter who else is the winner. And so what happens is that it's a competition. And I realized that that I was just really, really sad when I would walk by my courtroom and then other courtrooms, and I was just thinking, this is horrible. Like, it's just a bloodbath. and there's carnage all over the streets. And why? And children's college funds are violated, and I mean, you have so many expenses, right? I mean, nothing's cheap in divorce or in any litigation. And so you just have all this money just being shredded. And so I went to authorities, and actually I went to law school, but I had 3 children while I was in law school. And then after my 3rd son was born, I just said no, and I realized I couldn't deal with the legal system the way that it is, or the way that it was then. Hopefully things have changed. I think that things are changing slowly. I actually wrote a letter to 2 presidents and never got a response. But my guides told me that they did read the letter, and it was about a new way of holding litigation, and of seeing the oneness of all, and seeing that it's not who gets pummeled and then who walks around saying, "Oh, I won," at the detriment of the children, especially in family law, but in all areas of law. There's so much more that can be done, and so much can be done, actually. But I think that, here we are with the solar eclipse, and so many things happening around the world, and the consciousness of the collective is slowly being raised, and we are all, we're becoming more conscious. And maybe it is because of, the virus or whatever, because we are, we just don't have the availability of the distractions as much as we did before, where we can just all go shopping, and we can just all have parties all the time, and we can all do this and do that. People are staying home, and they don't have to, go to the office, because most offices are closed. But in any event, so I went to the authorities, and I said, guys, we need to make a change. What can I do? I mean, I'm just a woman who was totally beaten up in the divorce court. And because I just can't fight. I didn't want to lie. And we all know that in order to prevail, an attorney will lie for his client. Even if he knows that client is guilty, he will fight for that client and try to say that he's innocent. And not try to say, but do say, and defend him. Even when he sees the victims' families, they're sobbing in the courtroom. It's really a pitiful situation. But anyway, so I went to the authorities, and they said, well, tell people and write people. So I said, well, how many letters do I write? And so they said, as many as you feel. I mean, how much of a change do you want, and how much do you want to protect yourself? And I was like, okay. So I wrote 3,000 letters. Well, of course, I got sued with an order of protection where I wasn't allowed to talk about the divorce. I wasn't allowed to talk about anything. I wasn't even allowed to contact my children. I wasn't allowed to do anything. And then I was sued for defamation in the letter, but nothing I wrote was false at all. But what happened was a letter that I didn't write was actually submitted into evidence. So I was tried on a letter that I didn't even write. And I had a $10 million judgment. And it's the largest personal defamation judgment in the history of the United States, which actually gave my ex-husband carte blanche to take anything. And he did. 4 times, I think, huge moving vans came down to Florida from Chicago, and to kind of clean me out. And then my father would buy me more things, and then another van would come and take those away, and then my clothes would be gone, and then everything would be gone. And then a PR firm was hired to make me look like a nut and a slut. And actually, in divorce court, this is very typical behavior, that the woman is portrayed as a nut and a slut, and then everybody says, well, of course, she's crazy. And then men are portrayed as pedophiles. So you can't win. It's not really even a gender thing. As I lost, I read that there were men in Canada who were committing suicide because their reputations had been so destroyed by their wife, who was, acting out in narcissistic behavioral patterns to destroy them. And so, again, there's one winner and one loser in any kind of litigation, whether you're suing over a car accident or whether you're suing over rent or you're suing, whether it's a tort of some other kind or an estate. That's another story. Actually, when I was, after all this happened, I went to Brazil and I studied with John of God. Well, and he's had his own publicity fiasco, hasn't he? But when I was there, it was a very healing time, and I was going back and forth from Florida to Brazil for about 2.5 years. And when I came back for good, the locks to my condo on the beach in Florida that my father had bought me were changed, and all my financial accounts were closed. So I really lost everything. And then, because I had a copy of the trust that was in my condo, but I now couldn't get in, I had no proof. And so when that happens and you say, gosh, I had a beautiful condo and now I don't have anything, and my accounts have been closed and my car is gone and everything's taken, and I can't prove it because I don't have a copy of the document, then it's like the other side can say, oh, she just hallucinates, she's just crazy. So that's just the way it is. And I think that I don't think I'm unique. I mean, I think that maybe my story is a little bit of the extreme, for sure. But whether it's been in a job situation, or whether it's been an ex-lover who decided, you saw things in him and you wanted to get away, and then he went around spoiling your reputation and making up all these lies. This is the crap of the third density, and we are slowly raising our vibration and rising above it. And as there are 2 Hay House authors that I just love. They're just so cute. Mike Dooley, he's all about vision boards and everything. So the reason why I'm even talking about this is because we have to detach from this stuff. And we do. We have to be positive, and we have to think about all the blessings and the good things that are happening. And again, the more, I don't know if some of you watch some of the other, I've only done, I think, 3 other ones live, but it's all about tests. When we say we are taking our power and we are going to raise our own vibration, and we are going to see the good, and we are going to help, and we are going to transform ourselves and others by example. When we do that, the universe gives us a test. And so we have to deal with that. And this eclipse is about tests, because it is about taking your courage and doing what you know is the right thing to do, whether it's forgiving or whether it's telling your truth, which is what, we've kind of done here. But I want to hear what your test is. And so don't be afraid. Fear is an illusion. The truth is coming to the surface. And because it's been so suppressed, it is slowly bubbling up. And people are realizing that we were self-destructing, and we just can't do that anymore. So, and know that you are divinely protected and you are divinely guided. And let's see, what else can I tell you? We have a responsibility, I think, not only to ourselves, but to others, to tell the truth and to reveal the secrets that we were too afraid to reveal, for whether it was getting the negative reinforcement, whether it was getting the shock like the mouse, or whether it was just being so apathetic because you've been so beaten down. But it's a time to rest, recover, and then in full force go forward, being the very best version of yourself that you can be, because you're here to shine, and you're here to shine in the chaos. You're not here to shine where it's already, so beautiful and so well lit, because you won't be seen. It's like the candle, in the sun. You have put a candle in a dark room, and that's where that candle is seen, and that's where it shines. And that's what you're here to do. That's what we're all here to do, all of us humans. And so let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, my eyes haven't adjusted. Let's see. So, well, if you'll bear with me, let me just put on my little glasses, my little purple glasses. So don't worry when people try to tell you, oh, she hallucinates, or oh, you hallucinate. That's fine. It's fine, but don't be held back from becoming who you are here to become, who you are here to be. And again, when we tell our truth, we don't want to get caught up in negative energy where we are fighting. We just want to tell the truth. And we don't necessarily even want an outcome per se, because we're not committed to a goal. It's because we're not fighting for that goal. Because remember, when we detach from outcomes, we detach from labels, and our identity, and we detach from people, places, and things. And so, and we want to detach from the victim mentality and the identity that we have, the label that we have about ourselves. Oh, we were sexually abused. Oh, we were, we lost in a divorce. Oh, we lost our job. Oh, we lost our home. Oh, things were stolen. Absolutely. It happens. It happens to every single person in their body here. This is the third dimensional physical reality. It's what we're here to overcome. And we really can overcome it by just seeing the illusion, because this is an illusion, and we are here. We chose to come here at this point in time in the evolution of the planet, and to start off in a relatively dark place. Well, as a child, as an infant, we are so beautiful. And then life beats us down. And then we have to undo that and find our light again. So find your light and shine. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.